The idea of a flat Earth mixed in a heliocentric, the globe model, is absolute insanity. Let me just say what flat Earth isn't. We're not a disk floating in space with other flat planets or round planets. Take that off the table. So what is flat Earth? Well, think about this. Large bodies of water at rest lay flat, scientifically, testably, provably, measurably flat. So the flat Earth is like a pond. What holds a pond in? And the answer is it's the shoreline that surrounds the water. It's consistently higher than the level of the water. That holds the water. The water needs lateral pressure. Water lays flat. And we live in what I call the Antarctic basin. They tell us Antarctica is a continent at the bottom of the ball. Just like we see, we look at our globes, and it shows a continent at the bottom of the ball. But in reality, Antarctica is the land that surrounds the world pond. So think of all of the oceans of the world as a giant pond, all of the continents and islands as islands within that pond. The shoreline of our pond is Antarctica. So if you're on that lake and you're sailing around and you sail to the edge of the lake, you don't fall off into space, you step up onto the land. Now imagine at the center of that lake we have a mountain, and that mountain is magnetic, okay? So we'll call that the North Pole at the center of our flat lake. So if you're on a boat on the lake and you have a compass, that compass is going to point towards the center of the lake. No matter where you are, the north needle is going to point at the center of the lake. Flat Earth is provable. We live on a flat, level plane. All of our senses, all of our measurements, every scientific test done through history by accredited scientists to prove axial rotation, the spinning of the Earth, or curvature of the Earth, has failed and proven the opposite, but they don't teach us that in school. If I look up at the lights in my ceiling, they don't dictate the shape of my floor. When I look through binoculars, telescope at Saturn, I see a sphere. It looks like a sphere, but it has no relation to the shape of the Earth because planets are not what they tell us. The Earth is a level plane. The way I describe it is it's the basement of the universe. What's below the Earth? Nobody knows what's inside the Earth. The deepest hole ever dug is not even 8 miles. And when they were digging that hole, they were wrong every step of the way. Oh, there's no more water. They hit water. Oh, there's no more rocks. They hit rocks. And then just before 8 miles, they hit an impenetrable barrier, and nobody can go any deeper. But then all of a sudden, they know the next 4,000 miles to the center, and they show us that meme of all of the layers of Earth. That's just a meme. There's no scientific evidence at all. Just really quick on gravity is we live in this electromagnetic system. The Earth is stationary. It's not moving. It has what we call a negative charge to it. And everything above the Earth in the air has a positive charge. Well, negative and positive attract each other. And it says, hey, down is this way. That electrostatic force, by the way, is thousands of times stronger than what they tell us gravity is. Flat is not a shape. The Earth is measurably, testably level and horizontal. All plumb bobs, that if you hold a string with a weight on it, that's a plumb bob. That's what they use in construction. All of them point down vertical to the horizontal plane. Microwave towers, if you research them, need a line of sight. Well, we have microwave towers going over 300 miles, and they're communicating with each other. That does not work on a ball Earth. We don't use the word planet because it's a plane. They just kind of added a T to the end. What's below the Earth? We talked about that. Nobody knows. I don't think the moon is a place that you can go. There were scientists in the 50s talking about that the moon is plasma and that we can never go to the moon. So with that said, the moon missions as described were not accurate. If there's more land beyond Antarctica, what's another word for more? We'll say extra. What's another word for land? We'll say territory. So put that together in a word, extraterra. Guess what? If somebody came from the extraterra outside of Antarctica, beyond in that outer area, we might call them an extraterrestrial from the outer space. Well, what's beyond the edge of the land? What's beyond the other lakes? I don't know. I haven't been there.
It's real. The sun and the moon is real.
Okay.
But outer space is not.
Yeah, because there's no such thing as outer space.
No, and that's the whole thing that got you tricked and why you think the other planets and stuff. The planets are wandering stars that you think about.
So you think all that, like them going to Mars stuff is all...
How they going to the Mars? Why they don't put the same rover on the moon so we can watch the Earth spin right now? How they going to go to Mars?
They're talking about building a society on Mars, right?
Yeah. Why they doing that? Why they ain't got the same thing on the moon right now?
Yeah.
How they go so stupid and we believe it?
It's just, it's so ingrained, you know? Because your parents were taught that, their parents were taught that. So if you go against...
No, our grandparents wasn't taught that.
Your great granddaddy thought the Earth was flat?
Our grandparents and our great grandparents was taught that the Earth was flat before 1968.
I don't think so.
Look up, find an encyclopedia before 1968.
Dude,
I know when I first came across the flat Earth stuff, I didn't believe in it and stuff, and I was trying to debunk it and everything. The thing that threw me off was they were talking about how fast the Earth spins at 666, everything's 666 and stuff like that, and making it sound like so evil. And that's the thing that threw me off. I'm like, there's too much of a conspiracy. Like, I know people can be smart and stuff and can be evil. I know how evil this world is because I'm a very spiritual person.
Yeah.
And I know the true meaning. I know the true reason why they're lying. I do. But that stuff that's what threw me off about the whole flat Earth, and I didn't believe it. The only way I believed it, I came across the emergency landings thing. That's when I was like, yeah.
And it's mostly just a big ball of lava. That's Earth. But 10,000 feet is not a big deal.
Have you given any consideration whatsoever to the flat Earth movement?
Haha. I think that's a troll situation.
Oh, it's not. No, it's not. You would like to think that because you're a super genius. But I, as a normal person, I know there's people way dumber than me. And they really, really believe. They watch YouTube videos which go on uninterrupted and spew out a bunch of fucking fake facts very eloquently and articulately. And they really believe. These people really believe.
I mean, if it works for them, sure. Fine.
It's weird though, right?
Hold on, so NASA tells us that we live on a spinning ball that's flying through space. But all we gotta do is type in nasa.gov flat earth onto Google. The first link that pops up here, nasa.gov derivation and definition of a linear aircraft model. And the first thing it says in the report, this report details the development of the linear model of a rigid aircraft of constant mass flying over a flat, non-rotating Earth. Well, that's interesting. That's exactly how the Bible explains the Earth. Chronicles 16:30, fear before him all the earth, the world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. Psalm 104 verse 5, God's marvelous creation, who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty, the Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself, the world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Guys, God set the earth on foundation. There is no foundation on this. The Bible also tells us in Romans, let God be true, but every man a liar.
I don't understand though, you believe in flat earth, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't people just fall off the end?
Well, like what is the end, first of all?
I don't know.
It would be Antarctica, the Arctic Circle.
That's the end.
That's the shoreline.
But wouldn't there be like a wall or something?
Well, the highest shoreline on Earth is the ice wall, Antarctica. So the water would be this table, and then this would be the end.
Okay.
And then you'd say, well, what's that way? Like, where's the edge? The only treaty never broken by 57 nations is the Antarctic Treaty. You are not allowed to explore there. But that's why a compass is a flat earth instrument. It only points to north. There is no south pole on a compass. Because south, here's magnetic north. You circumnavigate east to west. That's how a compass circumnavigates, just like the sun. And then south would just be 180 degrees away from north. So southward.
Kyrie is my little brother. He's my all-star point guard, superstar point guard. And if he decides he wants to say the earth is flat, then so be it. So he's an interesting guy, man. And, he believes it. So, Kyrie, the earth is flat, right? Yeah. So, whatever. That's news. There we go.
When people say the earth is flat, everybody thinks I'm joking. And I don't know why people think I'm joking, but, well, it's me, so I guess that's what I think.
That's why they think you joking.
But when I say, like, I kind of believe this I just want to know what's on the bottom. What's under it? Like, if this is the flat earth, what's here? And what are they trying to hide? Why are they trying to keep us from this? Why can't we go over Antarctica if Antarctica is the and everybody keeps saying God. And I'm like, that's where God is? Not the other
I haven't had this
universe?
Now, why would I be doing that? The only reason I would be doing that is because hell would have frozen over at WrestleMania. The seas would have parted. The earth would have spun on its axis. and there would have been a miracle at WrestleMania. Shane McMahon would have defeated The Undertaker. Let's face it, none of that is going to happen. Because only fools believe in miracles.
I saw it happen, and I remember we ignored it. I was like, that's dumb.
Yeah, we did. We came up in the news for a few days, like, nah, Bob
By
ain't
the
doing
fifth
that.
day, I think it was like 5 days in.
Yeah,
I was
kept
like,
going.
hold the fuck on, man. Let me go in and research. And I found like a movement of people who are on this flat earth thing.
What did you make of the Kyrie stuff?
I don't. It's true. The the Earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
Yes, it is.
No,
listen.
It's not.
There's 3 ways to manipulate the mind: what you read, what you see, and what you hear.
Okay. Conspiracies.
In school, first thing they teach us is, oh, Columbus discovered America. But when he got there, it was some fair-skinned people with the long hair smoking out of peace pipes. So what does that tell you? Columbus didn't discover America.
He found where some other people already lived.
I drive from coast to coast, and this is flat to me. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I drive from
it's
Florida.
the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I drive from Florida to California all the time, and it's flat to me.
92 podcasts, and that's the dumbest thing you've ever said. That's a high bar to get over.
I do not go up and down in a 360-degree angle and all that stuff about gravity. Have you looked outside of Atlanta lately and seen all these buildings? So you mean to tell me that China is under us? China is under us.
If you keep they are under us. That's what they tell you when you're a kid?
The world is
if
flat.
you dug straight through your backyard, you could get to China.
No, you can't. The world
is not flat.
Yes, it is.
We've seen the Earth.
No, we haven't seen anything.
Yes, you have. You've seen it from satellite imagery.
Oh, satellite imagery that could be drawn and made up.
So here's the audio of the reporter asking Kyrie that exact same question.
You've seen pictures of the planet, though, right? Like it's a circle. So
I've seen a lot of things that my educational system has said that was real and turned out to be very good things. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind going to Instagram and turning my thoughts.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm with him because we're from Jersey. That's how we think. We think outside the box.
That tells you about the educational system in Jersey.
I'm just saying.
I think it's more of an indictment on that.
I'm just saying when I drive from Florida to New York, flat. Right. New York to Seattle.
It's
flat.
not flat.
Seattle down to L.A. Flat. L.A. back to Florida. Flat. It's it's a square. That's what it is.
You were fighting with someone claiming that you thought the world was flat and there's no way it was round. Was that a joke or is that what you think?
It's just a theory. You know, they teach us a lot of things, just a theory. For example, I flew 20 hours a day. Not once did I go this way.
You didn't
all straight. I didn't go. You didn't
tip over an edge. Yeah.
No, I didn't tip over. I didn't go upside down. So, but it's just.
But you know, you can fly to Australia.
Conspiracy theory.
No. You can, because if you left New York, you can fly that way to Australia, and if you left out of Los Angeles, you can fly that way. So how does that work?
But it's still a straight line. You don't go under. That's just a theory. And then another theory, how they say the world is spinning.
Yeah.
I've been living on a house at a lake for 30 years. Not once did the lake rotate to the left or rotate.
Lots and lots of fans.
So that affects them?
Now, Kyrie isn't the only NBA baller that thinks the Earth is flat. Draymond Green has believed so since 2010. Take a listen.
I don't know. I haven't done enough research, but I know it may be flat.
We don't even talk basketball. Today was his first day, so today was the first time I got to talk to him. He's talking about spending time in Atlanta. He spent a little bit of time in Atlanta, and I spent a little bit of time in Atlanta. We didn't cross paths, but we were just talking about that. There's going to be numerous conversations. I'm interested in having the conversation on whether the world is flat or round or not. So it's going to be an interesting year, I'll tell you that.
What are your thoughts on that? What are your stance?
I'm not yet ready to make my comment or statement on that, but as of what my eyes have told me, the world may appear to be flat.
here's like a perfect example of them landing on the moon. I mean, it's proof right there. This is an official NASA photo of the first Apollo 11 lunar module landing on the moon. I mean, it's right there. This is the proof, man. It's the picture's right there. It's landing on the moon. But the only problem I have with this picture is that it's taken from the moon.
You can see Neil Armstrong taking that historic first step and becoming the first man to walk on the moon. Yes, Timmy?
Who shot that?
What?
Who shot that footage?
What do you mean?
Well, if Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, then who's holding the camera?
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Well,
Who's out there with the camera?
No, I know what you're asking. I'm just...
Very fine grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder.
Could have been like a tripod, or... No, it's not.
Tranquility base.
Hey, Mr. Teacherson, what can I do for you?
Who shot the moon landing?
Neil Armstrong.
No, he was in it. I mean, who's holding the camera?
Wait a minute, I know this. It was... I have no idea.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
Hang on a second.
Hello?
Hey, Mr. Mayor. Who shot the moon landing?
Buzz Aldrin.
No, he was in the ship.
I don't know. Alien? Wait, hold on one second.
Thank you for calling the military.
Hi, yes, I have a question.
Don't ask, don't tell.
No. Who shot the moon landing?
Obama residence.
Yes, Mr. President. Who shot the moon landing?
Who's asking that?
Some kid from PS 139.
Hold on.
Water, when unmanipulated, is to find its level. So whether you look at a cup of water, a bathtub, a swimming pool, a lake, or the ocean, it's flat. Of course, natural motion is not considered and doesn't equal a curve. We have 0 authentic pictures of the Earth, and they're all composites, and NASA even admits that they Photoshop Earth images.
It is Photoshop, but it's has to be.
On numerous occasions, NASA admits that we can't go beyond low Earth orbit, which is between 99 miles and 1,200 miles away. The interesting thing is that the moon is said to be 238,000 miles away, which is a difference of 236,800 miles. No matter if you're on the ground, on top of a building, a mountain, a hot air balloon, an airplane, or looking at high-altitude amateur balloon footage, the horizon never fails to rise right to your eyes. Whether you are looking at Toronto's skyline from Niagara on the Lake, 31 miles away, Chicago's skyline from Union Pier, 43 miles away, or even Oahu from Kauai, which is up to 108 miles away from center to center, or 73 miles away from the closest points. You will not see any curvature where it's supposed to be. According to the Pythagorean theorem, which states that the curvature of the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared, Oahu should not be visible whatsoever, but you can see the whole thing. In 1887, Albert Michelson and Edward Morley conducted what's known as the Michelson-Morley experiment. This experiment was attempting to prove the speculated motion of the Earth around the Sun, and when it failed, Albert Einstein was forced to form the theory of relativity to overcome this problem. In fact, anytime mainstream science is faced with undesirable results, they create a workaround, which isn't real science at all. The Sun is claimed to be 93 million miles away, with a radius of over 400,000 miles, but can easily be proven to be much closer and smaller by tracing the crepuscular rays back to its origin in the sky. If the Sun were indeed 93 million miles away, it would simply be impossible to have angled sun rays, as they should all consistently come in straight. According to the globular theory, a lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, earth, and moon are in a direct line. But it is on record that since about the 15th century, over 50 eclipses have occurred while both the sun and moon are visible above the horizon. F.H. Cook, The Terrestrial Plane. It's a common misconception that the shadow of the earth causes moon phases. Even the pastors and priests of the science religion readily admit this fact. The interesting thing about moon phases is that they are always the exact same 8 phases repeated. But if we were circling around the sun, these 8 phases would inevitably be reversed from the summer to winter seasons. I completely understand that the idea of a flat and stationary Earth seems ridiculous in many ways, but that's only because we are taught the false globe model from the very first time that we enter a school classroom. Not to mention the first time we are introduced to the concept of a flat Earth, it's depicted as a highly laughable world where ships, boats, and water would run off of the edge. So I do get it, but it's all part of the deception. I've spent 30 years of my life believing that we were on a spinning globe. It wasn't until I unbiasedly and scientifically investigated the flat Earth claims that I started to realize that there is more to this theory than I originally gave it credit for. Now, after almost 2 years of research, I'm certain that the Earth is flat. We are told that the Earth spins at 1,040 miles per hour, while the Earth travels around the Sun at 66,000 miles per hour. Meanwhile, the whole solar system is going inside the Milky Way galaxy at a speed of 490,000 miles per hour. And finally, the entire Milky Way galaxy is darting through infinite space at over 1 million miles per hour. Most people believe this, and yet every experiment ever conducted to prove even the simple spin of the Earth has failed. The same thing goes for curvature. It's never been proven, and the only time we see it is in movies, NASA CGI, or when we're looking through a distorted fisheye lens. With all that said, please continue to research critically and don't be afraid to ask reasonable questions and speak out.
I was an airline pilot for Delta for 26 years. A pilot's primary flight instrument is his artificial horizon, which he has to be maintained level to keep from climbing and descending. From a cockpit, weather permitting, I could see hundreds of miles in all directions, viewing cities connected by roads across the flat plain as far as the eye could see. Nothing ever leaned.
If a pilot is flying around the curve of the Earth, then he should be dipping the nose down every 5 minutes. He should be dipping the nose down to stay around the curve. That's absolute proof that a plane flies over a flat surface rather than a curved one. But I went to the manufacturer of the artificial horizon, and they confirmed to me that it's completely mechanical, nothing electronic in it whatsoever. So it's literally just a gyroscope that can freely move. That right there is proof to me that planes fly over a plane.
Flat Earthers, it's time. We are going to destroy the Globeheads' arguments concerning flat grounds.
When you go onto the plane tracking software, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of flights over the northern hemisphere, and you can track those flights from beginning to end. When you look at any flight in the southern hemisphere, what you'll find is the flight takes off and disappears off the tracking.
And that only leaves why. Why have they done this? What's the point of this grand deception? I think Eric Dubay explains it best.
People are always asking, why do they do this? other than the obvious profit margin motive, NASA being the biggest black budget black hole in existence, sucking in over $30 billion taxpayer money for the fake moon landings alone. Nowadays, hundreds of billions of dollars, and not just NASA, but RASA and all the other fake space organizations around the world giving CGI images for hundreds of billions of dollars.
You want to put something in context. If you want to do something with $3.5 trillion, you can do whatever you want. Whatever you judge to be important to the profile of the nation that you are trying to build and to sustain.
So by surreptitiously indoctrinating us into their scientific materialist sun worship, not only do we lose faith in anything beyond the material, we gain absolute faith in materiality, superficiality, status, selfishness, hedonism, and consumerism. If there's no God and everyone's just an accident, then all that really matters is me, me, me. So they've turned Madonna, the mother of God, into the material girl living in a material world.
It's all about making us feel nothing, so that we can be used. If everybody realized how special we all are, how unique every single life is, then this whole world would change overnight. We wouldn't allow ourselves to be used by this cabal.
Hello, it's me. You know, indoctrination started while we were still naive, programming our beliefs. And that inertia is the reason we don't feel the earth spinning. Hello, can you hear me? Did you ever stop to question the confession of gravity as a theory? Funny thing, force alone can be explained with buoyancy and density. The sun is closer than what they've told us, not 90 million miles away. Hello from the inside. I'm here to tell you not to lie. And there never was a space probe, and those planets you left so wandering stars. Operation Fishbowl. Hello, how are you? Did you get a chance to join Flight Earth and Globe discussion group to discover all the truth? How the sun, the moon, the stars are all revolving around you. There's no more secret The earth is stationary, it is fixed, unmovable. Hello from the brighter side. They fooled you with that CGI. Sending rockets into the sea, and they're faking that life. ISS feed. No matter how high you go, horizons rise to eye level. Wake up from the world's greatest fiction. Show you only your glow. God will stand in the Over 120 scriptures support the geocentric design of this earth. Railroads, bridges, lighthouses, fail corrections, make mistakes. Don't be fooled by perspectives. It's unlimited vision, hiding your shit. No, this isn't gyroscopes. Prove the earth is not a globe. Moonlight, star trails, but love is true. Prove we are not the ones on the
Understand, it's not necessary for people to believe this information in order to weaken democratic institutions. You just have to flood a country's public square with enough raw sewage. You just have to raise enough questions, spread enough dirt, plant enough conspiracy theorizing that citizens no longer know what to believe. Once they lose trust in their leaders, in mainstream media, in political institutions, in each other, in the possibility of truth, the game's won.
So B.O.B. was very outspoken about the earth being flat. He's not the only person that said this before. Later on, Kyrie Irving said something similar. I remember when I interviewed the basketball player Iman Shumpert, he was convinced the earth is flat as well. Called
Indeed he
Flat
did.
Line.
Indeed he did.
And there's a line there that says, hey, Neil Tyson need to loosen up his vest. They probably write that man one hell of a check. Meaning that you were paid to lie to everyone about the earth being round.
Now, you said something on social media the other day that outer space is the ocean.
Right.
Explain that.
I can't do it.
You can't explain it?
I can explain it, but I don't want to explain it on camera.